Nope, I knew I'd forget one thing or another. Hope you're all doing well. Figured I'd do a quick live broadcast for some of my European followers or watchers. By chance, maybe a Norwegian beast will show up. We've been talking about this for a while, so maybe he's online right now. Hope you're all doing well out there in the valley. Couple minutes in and so far nobody, only 3 minutes though. So thinking some people might not know I'm going yet. It's early in the day for my time zone, but anybody working the weekend might still be in work, but maybe some of the European crowd is around. Let's grab that. Might as well respond to that while I'm waiting on somebody. Hopefully this time nobody asks my boots on. Yeah, about 6 minutes in and so far no one, so might stick around 10 or 20 minutes, see if anybody shows up. Maybe actually I'll let's see here. Let's see here. Hmm. Hmm. Pretty boring one so far. Hmm. Hmm. sometimes. Had a lot more views this early on my first two. Then again, Sunday's a little less of an active day. Perhaps Fridays and Saturdays, people are usually more up to being online this early, I suppose. Hope you're all doing well, though. Ah, dang it. Yeah, lazy guitarist. G'day, g'day. Welcome to the videos. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you're all doing well. G'day, g'day. How are you, bro? My dad. Oh, geez, are you okay? Do you have an emergency number? Maybe you'd be able to call. Maybe 911, or maybe it's 000 in your country. I believe that might be a number. Maybe you've got perhaps you've got child services, depending on your age. But I kind of set this out for you know, hopefully call somebody like a social worker of some sort, or 911, or the local police station, perhaps to be able to assist you with that better than I could. And it'd be probably a little more secure than, perhaps he's, do you think it might be related to a mental breakdown, perhaps, or something? Because I mean, that's probably what I would do if, anyways, is maybe try to get in contact with the police, and I'm sure they would likely intervene and get the appropriate social workers involved and go about better dealing with that. You know what I mean? If I knew you personally and I could come over, I'd probably help you out. But I once had a girl, or should I say, you once had me. Thanks, Electro. I do love to play off now, and I'm not going to pretend I'm Slash, but I've been on and off a lot of my life and more of a hobbyist than a. But I want to start making a lot of my own music, you know what I mean? Salute, good friend. Cheers. I messed that up, didn't I? Oh, no, I'm talking to the guy in the chat. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Thank you kindly, sir. But yeah, I'm really hoping that other fella is okay too. Like my first thought was maybe if he has a 911 number or a 000 number or something equivalent to that, or a local police station. Hopefully he can. 'Cause I think that would be your best bet to get police involved and maybe calm down the scenario, and then depending on what the exact situation is, they can go about the right social services and whatnot. You know what I mean? But thank you kindly, Electrovolt. And yeah, I'm hoping he's okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, I mean, never a good sign, right? I'm messing that part up. Me too, yeah. I mean, I had a friend or two, well, at least one friend who had an abusive parent growing up, and I'd often hear the end of it or even during it, and sometimes it was not a comfortable feeling to know it's happening. You know what I mean? And if it was in my area, I'd definitely go and help him out. But one of those scenarios of what can I do over the internet? You know what I mean? It's kind of, I would suggest calling maybe a local police station. You know what I mean? Oh, crap. I can't grab that. The calluses are misshapen on my fingers right now. I'm having certain problems with certain songs right now. But yeah, to the first fella there, Brad, if you're still on here watching, I really would suggest maybe making a phone call and seeing if you can reach out to somebody on that, you know what I mean? That can plug in. Make this a wee bit easier on myself, right? Give it a bit more of a kick. Let's see here. Master sound, I believe, was. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. When you get enough amps, sometimes it's easy to forget what's what on what amp. Kind of like driving different cars, you know what I mean? This would be a lot easier on my electric guitars, but I have to restring them, unfortunately. I've had a string or two snap, and I have solved that issue, but I haven't quite actually put the new strings on yet. So how y'all doing out there? Hope you're all doing well. I'm in a musical mood, but if you've got any questions or requests on music, or if you've got any questions on gardening or medical curiosities, or a bit of a nerd in that sense, let's get that back up. Yeah, that would be a lot easier on the electric. calluses are not cooperating. Yo, Norwegian Beast, welcome. You're finally here. How's it going? Yeah, it was closer to the heart. Rock on, brother. Thanks for noticing, Max. Welcome aboard, my friends. Hi, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, finally. Hell, I'll finally get to see you, bro. I was hoping you'd show up, Norwegian Beast. I was going to make another shout out to you because I kind of took down the first one. I'm doing pretty good. Nice to finally see you, brother. It's been a long while since we've chatted. Man, yeah, it's been a pretty good day so far. Pretty good day. It's cold here in Canada, but I'm sure it's cold there in Norway too. You know what I mean? Let's see here. And there we go. Yeah, no, it's probably about that here too as well, actually. I always. Man, it's been kind of weird because it's been we've had a few warmer days, but a lot of days have been, well, it's been back and forth. It's been a lot of cold days, but then we've had like a few days in a row here and there that's been like only like maybe minus 16 or something, which is still all right. Sweet, sure, yeah. Let's see here. Darn. How'd that go? And then this is easier on an electric guitar, but and then, like, I don't remember the whole solo. I don't remember the whole song right now. I learned a good parts of it, but not to mention the solo is a lot easier on electric, and I still have to restring my electric guitars, missing a string or two, and I did grind some of it down so it wouldn't keep snapping. I just haven't found my other strings because I put them away because of the problem. Now I don't remember where I've put them, unfortunately. Norwegian songs. Oh darn. If you are still there, Norwegian songs. I've heard of Green Carnation, as the band. I'm trying to remember the song I heard by them. I don't know how to play any if that's what you're asking, unfortunately. But the Green Carnation song I did hear, I'd like to learn that one. I just haven't learned it yet. Oh, we got all right. It's and there you are. I think you're back. But yeah, like I've heard of Green Carnation, the band from Norway, but I haven't actually played any of their songs if that's what you were asking. But I'd love to learn the one or two songs I've heard by them, and I honestly, off the top of my head, I'm struggling to remember the name of the song. I that got me into it. I'm pretty sure I've got it on this phone. Maybe I could figure that out actually. Cause I'm pretty sure because I've downloaded it a few times. But I have a horrible. And it was English too. I just have a horrible memory. Actually, maybe I just let's see here. Yeah, it's not in this one. Actually, let's just go. Oh yeah, Pile of Doubt. That was it. I didn't even find it. Pile of Doubt was Faded is a Norwegian song. That actually does sound in what is the word I'm looking for? Familiar. That does sound familiar, Faded. But I didn't know that. I'm sure I've heard Faded. I know I've heard. I know I've heard. I just can't bring it to memory right now. I've heard of the band Green Carnation, and the one song that got me into them was Pile of Doubt, and I thought that was a pretty good song, but I haven't actually learned it yet. But it does sound like I just haven't actually picked up on it yet, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those, every time I think of the song, my mind automatically goes to the beat and a bit of the rhythm, but I can't place my ear on the notes right now, you know? Let's see here. God dang. On the high E string one. Yeah, that's the one that keeps breaking on me. The high E one, the one furthest down. Yeah, kept snapping on me. So I had to kind of file down by the nut and file down the tuning pegs and everything to kind of prevent it all from snapping. Cause I'm sure that's where the problem was, is because where it kept snapping. So it must have been that. At least that's what I think. 'Cause that's where it was snapping. without the high E. And I did file it down, but I just haven't gotten to the strings yet, unfortunately, you know. Gotta find the darn things. Yeah, hoping the weather warms up and we can actually get back to spring, though. That'd be pretty good. But another couple of months, I'm sure. Yeah, hoping to get a bit of ice fishing in this year too, and I'm actually off tomorrow, so maybe I'll do a bit of ice fishing tomorrow. And I was debating if I want to do a live stream for that too, but I don't know if anybody would even join for that, anyways. You know. But yeah, sometimes I like to just mess around because I've been thinking of making my own music. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those. I try not to lose all the things I do know, and I still try to learn new songs and whatever. But lately, I've also been focusing on just making some of my own, which when you've got a few different instruments, you know, it's hard to choose one some days. I can find. No rush, man. Might tune while you're going, actually. It's a little off. Hey, welcome back. Nice to see you again, brother. Oh, man. Man, I love that band, Symphony X. Yeah, I know, eh? Well, yeah, I mean, my Facebook pictures, I don't have any of the long hair. I have one from one of my other accounts when I used to have long hair, and I've been booted out of that account. I haven't really been able to get back into that one for some reason. I don't know, my friend. I usually don't wear them upstairs, you know. Like, I do want to grab them. I do. It's kind of one of those. I went out a few times earlier on, so they're still pretty wet. I don't want to kind of get everything wet up here. You know what I mean? Just kind of trying to keep my floors a little cleaner. I, don't want to have to clean the floors every week. Every day. I mean. I definitely will kind of have them by the heater to warm up, and hopefully that'll kind of get them all dried up a bit, Maybe next time. Maybe next time. And I've been doing good, thanks, Daryl. How have you been doing? Have you been healing up any since you were in the hospital, my friend? I'm sorry, bro. There's a few people. I don't know if they really want to be part of the video. Kind of don't want to impose on people who aren't really part of the channel, you know what I mean? Well, I did bring them up the last time. I do remember. Hey, Norwegian Wood. I did bring them up last time, and I did actually save that live broadcast on my channel. So if you check that out, like, you'll be able to see the boots from last time. I remember showing you last time. Yeah, like a couple a day for sure. I'm trying to cut back though. You know what I mean? It is a bad habit. I mean, but I mean, like, yeah, definitely a couple a day, but nothing too crazy most days. So, and a lot of the times when I do smoke, I do this where I'm playing something else, and a lot of it's sitting in the ashtray. It's more habit at this point than addiction, or at least an equal part. Guess it really couldn't. Maybe in a quick minute. I just want to quickly finish my smoke. I'm almost thinking maybe I should have a pair of boots up here for when I am filming, actually. Critically conditioned hand has since. Yeah, that's another reason I do actually want to quit smoking, just because I have had an aunt or two who's died of COPD or with it anyways, and it's definitely not good for your health. And I actually remember once showing somebody else who, like how bad smoking can be for you. And I remember actually smoking a cigarette through a napkin once to show them how much tar and other crap ends up in your lungs. And by the end of the smoke, well, not the whole um, Kleenex, but a good chunk of it where I was smoking was pretty dark and yellow. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have been smoking a little less than I used to. I used to smoke like packed with 2 packs a day, but now I'm down to often under one. Yeah, and that's another reason, I've been wanting to quit 'cause I have had a few family members who've been affected by smoking. I have been, my friend. I like to lace them up because I always like to have tight footwear. Just, I don't know, it makes me feel more stable on my feet, a little more comfortable walking, especially in this icy winter weather. I'm not sure where in the world you are, but I'm up in Canada, in Ontario, and it gets pretty snowy most winters and pretty slippery and slushy. So I like to have nice, tight footwear. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely gonna give me a good challenge from now on. And that's the thing that helps me cut back smoking is just keeping my hands busy and uh oh sweet, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I do remember us mentioning that last time, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, still in the hospital. I imagine you will be. I remember you mentioning that's a good challenge actually. Maybe I definitely will have to give that a shot. It would be pretty cool to try quitting. And I've tried a few times in the past and I usually make it anywhere from a week to a month and a half, and then usually either something happens or somebody offers me a smoke and I have one, and then one turns into two, and what's one more? I won't start up again, and then before you know it, I'm smoking again, and just. And I mean, it's why I wish I never started because it's not the cheapest of habits, and it's kind of one of those scenarios of it's not exactly the easiest thing to quit. But I know once I quit, I do think things will become a lot better. You know what I mean? Health wise and everything, anyways. But it's definitely not a good habit to start. They actually do feel a lot tighter and a lot better when they're fully laced up. Makes it a lot better for walking around and running and not falling on my ass like I have been lately. A couple of tumbles lately. Luckily, the worst I got was a sore back, and fair enough. I gotta go. Yeah, yeah. No, fair enough. I'll talk to you next time, Norwegian Wood. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. I'll try to stop on earlier next time and show up more on Fridays and Saturdays, so then at least it's a little more better for your timing and everything. You know what I mean? Because I haven't been on as much as I've been intending to be. You know what I mean? You too, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night, man. It's always nice to chat with you, and I'll make another shout out video for you. I only took the last one down when you got taken down, but I was thinking of making another one for you, but it'll show up in here as well. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Have a good one, amen. Hope you have a good night and a good week, brother. No, it's all good, Daryl. Maybe I'll run down and grab them quickly. Couldn't hurt, I suppose. Gotta move my keyboard out of the way. Kind of placed it on the door for a minute, but I'll be back in a minute, brother. Hey, Daryl, I'm back, man. Brought him up with me today. Me old. My travel thing. Never know what'll happen. Luckily, I haven't slipped them on yet, but I'm just putting them on my app, so then at least I'm not wetting up the floor. And I got a bit of paper on the app anyway, so that'll keep the app dry. But yeah, I'm hoping you're feeling better soon. I imagine you might be in there for a while, my friend, you know. Must be a long and boring wait, I'm sure, and probably not a comfortable one if I had to imagine. So my heart goes out to you there, my friend. 'Cause I know it can get pretty boring sitting around the hospital, you know. Anyways, enough of that song, eh? So what kind of things are you into, or were into before you got into the hospital, my friend? Were you into fishing or hiking or jamming, or were you kind of a go to work and watch TV kind of guy, or were you into movies? Were you into... I know I've gotten into quite a few different things throughout my life, you know. Sweet. Oh, crud. Get that back in tune. That's a bit better. I'd imagine so. I've definitely spent a good amount of time in the hospital for sure, and it definitely kind of sucks. It gets pretty boring sometimes. I'd definitely come out and visit you if I knew where, but probably something you might not want to share here, but you could probably message me personally somehow. I don't know how to. I've heard of people DMing or direct messaging people on YouTube. I don't know how that works, but I am on Facebook as well. Uh, John of the Worldwide Musical Society, or the Ottawa Valley Gardens and Games Bartering Group. Why is that sounding so lost? Let's see here. Yeah, keep muting that. Dang. Well, it's back in tune at least. So, how have you all been today? Hope you're all well. I hope Daryl. I hope you're doing better soon, my friend. It mustn't fun time I could imagine. You know what I mean? But yeah. G'day, Sarah. Hey, you caught me online. Oh no. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not so helpful today. Buddy, when you get done, can you put your webcam down? Put them on. I just don't want to get the whole floor wet, my friend. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I could put a towel down. I never actually thought of that. Let's see here, because for some odd reason my C is sounding different than I'm used to it sounding. I can't get that one to come out well right now for some odd reason. Yeah, I like this bedroom too. I kind of have quite a few different types of keychains up, and got my maps up, and got a few different keychains going on. I got that little guy standing hiding over by my walking sticks there, because I often like to go out for hikes, you know what I mean? And during wetter or slipperier weather, sometimes I'll take one of my walking. Yeah, I've got, and these aren't even all of my keychains. I've got literally, yeah, let me think. Like, I want to say almost 100 on my walls alone, but then it's only like a third of what I've got in the ball of my keychains. And so I probably have like easily 300 keychains, I'm guessing, but I've never honestly counted them, you know. But yeah, I've been collecting keychains since I was a kid, to be honest with you. And it started off with 2 or 3, and I put them together because I can never seem to find any of them when I wanted them. So when I put them together, I figured, well, let's get a few more from the dollar store, and then it just turned into a little ball. And then I started getting them for Christmas and birthdays, and from friends who were on vacation. And now I've got a few from around the world, from like, Cuba and Florida and England, and a few from around Ontario. I've got a few from all over the place. You know what I mean? I can't even think of all the places right now. Jamaica and the East Coast and Costa Rica, and yeah, I've got quite a few actually. That hurt the back a bit. I've hurt my back recently, fallen a few times because I'm a bit clumsy, unfortunately, and get the odd couple of sharp pains. So not sure how long I'll be on today for. I've been on for a little over an hour now, and boots used. Yeah, they're the same boots I had on last time. It was hard to show you from wearing them last time, but they're fairly camouflaged, and they've got the nice thick warm uh soles on them and bottoms, and pretty thick, pretty deep treads on the sole, which helps give me a bit more grip when I'm walking around, thank God, because it's pretty slippery where I am, you know. But yeah, I wear them a lot more in the winter time, especially when I'm going out. I mean to wear them a little more when I'm going to work, but I have a tendency of just slipping on my shoes because I live on the same street I work on, so I can walk to work in like 2, 3 minutes. So for me to, and I'm supposed to be wearing my boots when I go to work, so I'm not tracking things in. But some days I do tend to forget that. Please, if you can, before you go off, boots you just. No, yeah, definitely. It's a lot harder on acoustic. I love playing guitar though. Trying to think of what else I want to play because I used to fidget around a lot and I used to know a good couple dozen songs, but I'm off and on a lot, so sometimes I kind of forget half the stuff I know, and so I often find myself going back and reteaching myself other songs I've previously learned, you know what I mean? And there's a handful of them that are consistently stuck in my memory. I find that I've played so many times, I don't think I'll ever forget them unless I get dementia, which no one mile off. But I mean, obviously, that's not what I'm aiming for, but thanks. Thanks, Sarah. I do love to play, and I actually want to kind of become a little better and practice some of my favorite songs again, you know what I mean? See if I can my C's just aren't sounding. I guess so. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Oh, I love playing. It's one of my favorite hobbies, playing, and I don't know, like it's kind of like I've always loved playing and outdoor stuff. You know what I mean? I can never understand I've loved gaming too, actually, but not in comparison to a lot of my friends. They usually kick my ass in gaming because I'm usually so sidetracked in my own little world of other things that I'm used to one player games where I'm against the computer because at least the computer is usually easier to beat. You know, it doesn't have a real brain that's, thinking better about the game than I am usually. But I do love gaming. I'm just not as good at it as a lot of my friends are. But I do enjoy doing it though. But I kind of I don't know. I want to learn more in the musical world and make some of my own music. And as you know, because we chat all the time, but I definitely want to kind of start making my own music and maybe putting it out there because I find the music industry is sadly starting to die and get boring and kind of nobody ever plays instruments anymore. And it seems like it's just all computerized and just more about swearing and clout than actually trying to make something worth listening to, I find. Or maybe that's just my perspective. There are some bands out there still making music, but it seems like everything's going to rap and pop, and I'm not against rap and pop, but it's kind of nice to hear other stuff too. Yeah, no, I wish I had a better light too. It's kind of above me over here, but I only have the one light bulb in it at the moment and a shade on it, which I'm sure doesn't help either. But how um I don't know, for another little while for sure. I haven't really made a plan on exactly when I was gonna get off, but my back is a bit sore, so like I was gonna go for as long as I feel comfortable going without any sharp pains. Dang it, trying to get that cord out of there. Where'd it go? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Gonna have to move that around. You won't have to bring me, I guess. Whoop. And of course, that's gonna. Oh, arsehole. Gotta put stuff down, I do. not exactly the most organized today. I've got to kind of reorganize my setup here. Let's see here. Yeah, that should keep it in place for now. Let's see, so just push this back. Where the hell is the end of this cord then? There we go. Well, geez, it was right here the whole time. My luck. Grab the base here. Oh, son of a gun. Now my chair is on the base. Oh, son of a bitch. I never seem to have the luck with certain things. I often, when I want to go play the bass, I often struggled and I want to play the 4-string or the 5-string. I like them both quite a bit. I like the lower tones my 5-string gives, but I kind of like the crispness I get from the 4-string as well. So I kind of bounce back and forth a lot. So Daryl, how long do you think you'll be in the hospital for, my friend? I remember you mentioning a few different things that was going on. It sounds like it could be easily a month or two, I would imagine, but those kind of injuries and issues, you know what I mean? Because most of the time I've ever found myself in the hospital, it was usually just a quick surgery or surgery prep or hearing testing, seeing testing, things that were usually in and out within a day or so, you know. Oh, sweet. Thanks. So today's January. So definitely a couple of months to go, eh, my friend? Sorry, you know, I'm hoping it's at least manageable for you, you know. Yeah, definitely, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I am bugging you about the boots. Yeah, no, it's all cool, man. They're pretty awesome. To be honest with you, they've been one of my favorite boots I've had so far, you know. Got these as a Christmas gift, I believe, but it's been the best pair of boots I've had. They're comfortable, they're warm, they're very good soles on them, very good grip, pretty good for walking around in them. I personally enjoy them myself, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion, you know what I mean? Yep. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room. It isn't it good, Norwegian wood. I actually don't remember the words of the rest of the song. Please don't slip on them or wear them. I definitely won't, my friend, trust me. The last few slips I've had were actually walking down the stairs and walking to work usually. Actually, let's fidget around on the banjo for a few minutes since I got that here. I don't even know why I keep putting the strap on. I'm sitting down, for God's sakes. Kind of hard going back and forth with that on the banjo. I find it's kind of like going from automatic to standard, and even if you know how to do both, sometimes if you're used to one and then you switch to the other, in your mind's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and you know what I mean. There's a few banjo songs that I've been trying to pick up. I'm not used to the different types of rolls you do on the banjo versus the guitar. I tend to cover on my channel a lot of guitar songs on the banjo, but I've been trying to also here and there pick up the actual songs. And there was one I started getting good at there off of, what's that movie? Gosh darn it, I'm sure a lot of you know exactly. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? and I can't even remember what the song is called off the top of my head. It wasn't the Candy Mountain one. It was one of the other ones. Cause I know the Candy Mountain on the guitar, but I haven't. There's another one, but yeah. Uh, so maybe I'll just switch back to the guitar. I love playing the banjo. Actually, my issue is that I find because I have a tendency of wanting to learn new music and play new music. I'll often practice some of the older stuff I've known for years, but then my issue is that the last year or two I've often been just wanting to make my own music, and then I often start forgetting a lot of the music I already know. Uh, Dang. Sweet. Thanks for sticking along, Daryl. And I hope you heal up soon, my friend. Anyways. Nah. Nah, not gonna work. Thanks, Daryl. It's always nice to hear from you, and I'm hoping you're out of there, good sir. Oh, the Ontario trio here in the group, it seems. Or maybe there's another person. My end is showing 3 people, but I know 3 of them well, 2 of them so far. So maybe I'm the third one. Maybe the third one's just enjoying the conversation, you know? Hmm. Hmm. Actually, the nope. I'm forgetting how to play that one. I love those boots. Glad I got them as a present, to be honest with you, because I mean, I've been wearing them ever since, and I mean, they're so comfortable. They're warm. They're like right up the ankle enough where they're comfortable and they're actually tight and they're a snug fit, so I'm stable, but they're not up to my knees by any means. You know what I mean? And just I always loved camouflage stuff. They're well insulated. They're comfortable. They're not too tight. They're not too loose. I'm pretty sure they're extra wide, so then I don't feel like I'm being squished in there either. Because I do like a snug footwear, but I don't like it where it's like cutting off circulation either. You know what I mean? There's that happy medium, you know? Thanks, Daryl. I want to learn more, actually. So there is no way I can see them on your wall. Yeah, I don't know where I'd put them while I'm playing for them to see them, though, is the thing, you know? Eh, fingers are warming up a bit better, at least. Wish I knew the rest of that solo, because that'd be friggin' wicked. But I don't know, a lot of the times I just like to kind of also create my own music, you know what I mean? 'Cause I just, something I'm trying to work on, because I also want to learn more. For the songs I used to play, I'd like to relearn those, and I'd like to learn more songs. But I've been just so encouraged lately to learn, like, make my own songs up. You know what I mean? Make it a little more interesting, at least. But so far, it's been just a lot of riffs and a lot of little rhythms and a lot of beats on the drum. Well, occasional beats on the drums or thoughts of beats. I think would go great with what I'm playing. You know what I mean? 'Cause a lot of the times when I'm coming up with a tune, I often try to think, well, what would sound good with this as a beat? And then that's usually when lyrics start to come to mind. But it's just getting it all down where I can actually put a whole song together. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, that's just, I mean, because my mind goes through so many different things I even want to kind of play and different kind of influences I lean on, you know, and sometimes I want to go towards things like AC/DC and Ozzy and Guns N' Roses sort of thing, but then there's other times I want to go more towards a metal band, kind of like you know, Symphony X or Metallica or you know, whatever. And then there's other times I kind of want to make something that's just a little more bassy or jazzy or rock and roll, or occasionally I feel like making something bluesy or something simple like the White Stripes and whatever. And just my mind goes so many different places musically, and often every time I play, which is why I often go into so many different types of thoughts musically, I find. Let's see here. What time are we at? Oh man, it's almost 4. I didn't realize it was almost. That actually reminded me of a song out of a movie, and I can't quite remember what song it was. You ever hear a riff or a certain structure of notes that get you reminding you of a song for the life? Yeah, I can't remember what song it's from. Because I've had that a few times where there's a certain solo or a certain set of notes or a certain rhythm that I'm like, I know I've heard that in a song before. Where have I heard that? And sit there for an hour trying to figure it out, and half the time I can't. Probably change that string soon. Yeah, that's just flat enough. Did I turn that by accident? Sorry, Daryl. I'm happy with that. That was probably my problem before. It's just I was in such a terrible tune that I didn't notice. Hmm. Just a little. Hmm. Oh my god, what the hell? I'm having a hard time keeping my guitar tuned today. Gotta change to get the strings out. They're getting old. That's sounding a bit better. I'm so used to playing this on the electric. It's way harder on the acoustic, I find. Could be a little better, I guess. Let's see here. So what kind of music are you guys into? Anybody else into gardening and stuff? Because part of the channel is also gardening. And fishing. I do actually want to get into more fishing and more foraging into the channel and kind of bring the audience along for some wild edibles, because I've done a fall foraging video so far, but I've been meaning to do a winter one, and then I'm going to do a summer one and a spring one throughout the year. No. Just a pinch higher. Can I see them? The boots, you mean? Still got them up here. I think they're pretty cool, you know. Kodiak's a pretty good name brand, you know. It's well built, I think, anyways. Oh, man. Sounds good, Daryl. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you next time, man. But yeah, I'll probably call it a day myself shortly too. And I'll probably stop by again tonight, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock or something for a short while. But this one's been going for a good 2 hours so far. So 2 hours and 8 minutes and a half so far anyway. But as fun as it's been, there's a few other things I wanted to do today before coming back online, so I'm sure I'll see y'all later. But yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe call it a quits for this one, but I'll talk to y'all soon, and I hope you're all doing well out there. Take care, guys. Have a good one. It's nice to hear you play. Thanks, Sarah. It's nice to have you online again, you know. So that is you online. Maybe I'll stick around for a little longer then, since I'm not really doing a whole lot. Just gonna stretch the back a quick second here. Oh, my chair is kind of semi broken. The screws fell out of the what do you call it? The armrest. So now it's kind of half-ish. Well, the comforting part, anyways. What is Does sound like a familiar song though. Yeah. Well, I'll probably start again at around 8 or 9 anyways. I was thinking maybe start playing a few other things to get a few things done on around the house and maybe clean up a bit. But yeah, maybe I'll call her quits for this one and I'll come back online later because yeah, it's been kind of just one or two people at a time recently. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. But I'm sure we'll chat online as well. So I'll talk to you later. Hope you're all doing well to anybody who sees this later on. But take care. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one, eh? Yep.